Yo, what's going on, man? Back with another video. Know it's kind of been a minute, but just got to do things when they call for it. I know you've seen the title of the video, How Brother Panic Saved the World. So I'll start off saying, like, if you don't know who Brother Panic is, then please go do your research, you know what I'm saying? And YouTube some of his videos. I know he has a channel on Patreon. You can kind of get on there and kind of see. And then see if this cat even resonates with you. You know what I'm saying? Because he may not. If you hate Brother Panic, I also advise you do not watch this video because I'm not trying to convince you to like him. You know what I'm saying? If you hate him, you don't rock with him, then you don't have to watch this video and try to prove me wrong or whatever. Because I'm not trying to prove you right, I'm not trying to prove you wrong. Excuse me. And then if the cat was somebody that you resonated with, then cool. You know what I'm saying? Hear the message. You know what I'm saying? They usually say like, subscribe, share. I'm going to say resonate, like, and explain. You feel what I'm saying? If it resonates with you, what this message, then like it. You know what I'm saying? But then explain it. Explain it to your friend group. You know what I'm saying? If you're the spiritual person in your friend group, then explain it to them in your own way. You know what I'm saying? Put your own twist on it. Put your own funk on it. Put your own words on it. If this message resonate with you, you know what I'm saying? So with that, we're just gonna kind of get it started. Got my notes, and kind of tell you how I got to this conclusion. You know what I'm saying? So most of y'all know, or you should know, Brother Panic, he passed a couple years ago now, you know, in his home, wherever the case may be. So it was a big loss, to the conscious community, you feel what I'm saying, or whatever you like to call it. I really rock with Brother Panic, man. He was a teacher of mine, you know what I'm saying, somebody I highly respected, things like that, you know what I'm saying. So he will be missed, but the message moves on, you know what I'm saying, and it lives on. So that's kind of, it's still sad to think about, man, but it's all good. So with that, he passed a couple years ago now, about to be a couple of years, and recently his twin flame, his woman, his goddess, whatever you want to use, did a lecture. You know what I'm saying? She did a lecture, and me and mine was able to go to it, man. And Sister Khadijah is just a beautiful, beautiful, powerful woman, and the lecture was amazing. It was her first lecture, since the passing of Brother Panic. With much respect, man. So me and my wife, we really enjoyed it. It was beautiful, you know what I'm saying. But as I was there and just kind of listening to the impact, you know what I mean, of just Brother Panic, man, and how he impacted so many people and changed so many lives, man, like literally from around the world, you know what I'm saying? So, we did that, man. And it really got me to thinking just about the impact and how this cat really, truly did, like, save the world, man. So when we was there was this, these brothers and sisters, I mean, literally siblings from Austria. You feel what I'm saying? So they traveled all the way here from Austria to hear the lecture from Sister Khadijah and the deity party that they had beforehand. You know what I'm saying? So they traveled all the way from Austria. So when he was speaking, I remember that Brother Panic had a video in which he spoke about this sibling group from Austria, man, and how they chopped it up, and it was talking like 3 or 4 hours. So when dude was talking, I was like, oh snap, that's the dude that Brother Panic was talking about. Like, that's the family, you know what I'm saying? So, they're talking, man, and he's saying a lot of beautiful things, but he's also saying how, the message kind of brought their family together, and changed their life. But one thing that he said that really stuck out to me was it took an African American to teach an African how to connect back with their roots. So when he said that, I was like, damn, that's powerful. Though this family is from Austria, their home, where they come from there is in Africa, the DRC. You know what I'm saying? So he said it took an African American to connect an African back to his ancestors. So it's just, that was such a beautiful thing, man. So, you know, that really resonated with me, man. So I ended up chopping it up with the brother, you know what I'm saying, and his family, and it was a beautiful exchange, man. But it really got me thinking, and that's how I came to this conclusion. Just thinking of all the lectures and all the wisdom that Brother Panic has dropped over the years, man. The course of his career, 20 plus years type deal, you know what I mean? So one thing that Brother Panic always said was the ancestors were like Google. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was a dope way to explain it, but the ancestors are like Google, man. They're your database, you know, that you can kind of log into, search, and get a different perspective on things that you may not understand. You understand what I'm saying? So just like you use Google to find out, you know, the reviews of a restaurant or a store, or if you got a question, you know what I mean, that you need answered, or, you know, you're trying to write a paper or whatever the case may be. I know they got chat for that, but I'm just saying. So he said the ancestors were like your Google. That's your first, you know, source of information, because they can view you and this world in a different lens in which you don't. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that stuck out to me from one of Panic's lectures. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought that was real powerful. And the brother at the lecture was speaking about how, you know, a lot of the brothers and sisters on the continent, they're shying away from the ancestor stuff. You know what I mean? And they're going the more traditional religious route, or whatever the case may be. Not all, but some, you know what I mean? And you may know some that do or don't, or you may so yourself, but they're really getting away from the ancestor thing, ancestor worship, I guess. And then also Brother Panic always talked about that, like not worshiping your ancestors, right? Like, would you worship Google? You know what I'm saying? So you can always go and speak to them and get information that you need, you know, through meditation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Ancestor realm is your first Google. So that's something that Brother Panic always spoke about. And like I said, hearing that from this brother, I was like, damn, that's dope. You know what I mean? So I always thought about that, and I was starting to put this thing together. And I thought about one of the most important, he got tons of important, but one of the most important lectures that Panic had, man, was the how to die and not come back. You know what I'm saying? And if you haven't watched it, please watch it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like 3 videos, each one of them like 8 hours long. Like, it's something crazy. But my man was going in. It was such a powerful lecture, man. Even just the title, even just what it was about, how to die and not come back, right? I don't feel like a lot of people was thinking about not coming back before that lecture was dropped. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people were thinking about things more like reincarnation, right? Or when I come back, you know, I want to be a butterfly. When I come back, I want to be a raindrop dew on a blade of grass, some stupid shit like that, right? But that was something, right? And if he wasn't part of the reincarnation crowd, then maybe you were like, hey, man, I'm going to heaven and I'm going to see, you know, my grandma that passed or my grandpa that passed. Like, this was kind of just the mentality of a lot of people, right? Nobody was thinking, man, when I die, I'm not coming back to earth. You know what I'm saying? I never really heard people talk like that. You understand what I'm saying? So I just think that lecture that Brother Panic dropped was so powerful, bro. You know what I'm saying? It started to try to change the language of the people in the spiritual community, even people outside of it, just kind of like, yeah, when I die, I ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying? And not only just the title, but the information that homie went into was so deep. You know what I'm saying? Literally telling you as a pathway where you can go and not come back. You know what I mean? And how to get out of this matrix, how to get out of this earth plane and all that kind of stuff, right? So I think just that conversation started to open up people's minds more so than it had before. People may, like I said, have been talking about reincarnation or going to heaven, but not really, man, let me get out of this bitch and not come back. So then when that opens up that type of thinking, then you say, if I'm leaving and not coming back, then where am I going? You know what I'm saying? And so now that brings your thought process to another question, like, where am I going, but where am I from? You feel what I'm saying? And I think when you start asking that question, is when your mind gets to a point where you gotta get on Google. You know what I'm saying? And get on Google in this spiritual sense is connecting with your ancestors. You see what I'm saying? So when you start asking different questions, it's almost like your ancestors, your grandma, your mima, your papa, whoever that passed away, your brother, your sister, your child, whoever who was an ancestor, you know what I'm saying? It's like their ears start perking up because now you're asking questions. How, where am I going? Where, how do I not come back? These kind of questions might cause you to tap into your own Google. You see what I'm saying? So as you tap into your own Google, you're starting to make ancestors available to you that may not have been available to you before, only simply because of the way that you were approaching it. Maybe you're approaching it in more of a prayerful way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're just approaching it as like, I'm going to see him when I get to the other side. Or maybe you was approaching it like, yo, when I die, I'm going to come back and we both going to be fucking lions on the Serengeti or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But when you start saying, yo, I'm not coming back, and you say, where am I going? And you say, shit, where am I from? Where is home? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So I think that starts to expand the way that you think just about death, even death. You see what I'm saying? Because that's something that Brother Panic talked about a lot, and Brother Bobby Hemmett, you know what I'm saying? So with that, I think it starts sparking new thoughts within your consciousness, right? And now you got to come with the answers. You got to go start searching for the answers. And the first place that you search that you'll probably start getting those answers from is your ancestors, the ones who are no longer here in the physical body, and those who are able to and wanting to help. Right? Brother Panic always said, Brother Bobby was like, ancestors ain't nothing but niggas without bodies. You know what I'm saying? They still niggas. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think if you've done enough work, you understand what I'm saying. You connect with the ones that are gonna and want to help you and all these things, right? It's not so much like a worshiping thing, right? Like they said, you're not finna worship Google, you feel me? So I think that lecture alone started getting people's mind thinking in a different way. You feel what I'm saying? So now the question, where is home? Where am I from? Right? Or, a lot of us feel like we're not from here anyway, but it's like, nigga, where are you from then? You know what I'm saying? So that thought makes me start thinking cosmically of these different places in the universe, dimensions, planets, whatever you want to call them, where people are from, where their consciousness is emitting from. Even Brother Panic spoke about the quantum world. You feel what I'm saying? So, or where your higher self resides and things like that, man, it really starts sparking different types of thoughts. So then when I think about this cosmically, I think about places like Sirius. You feel me? Even places like the Pleiades and all this other kind of stuff. And you see a lot of starseed stuff popping up, right? And not that that's a new phenomenon, but a lot more people are speaking on that. But it's not new, right? People have been talking about this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Since the beginning of niggas from other planets coming here. You feel what I'm saying? But what happens is when you start asking different questions to your Google, to your ancestors, then you start getting different answers. You know what I'm saying? Things that you may not have considered or thought of before. And then something you might have thought was wild, like some starseed stuff, becomes more tangible. Like, oh shit, I can understand it. I see that. I tapped in with my ancestors and I've been rocking with them for a minute, really using my Google, using my personal search engine to navigate this life. And now they done mentioned something about X. You know what I'm saying? Now, a ton of cats have messed with Dr. York since he came out. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing, these are all master teachers. You know what I'm saying? I know he was available up north, you know what I'm saying, to a lot of people. A lot of people tapped in with his information. I know he moved down here and opened, his spot, and it got shut down and things like that. You know what I mean? So I'm not a Dr. York expert or anything like that. So, if you are, please forgive me. But I think, that's kind of the gist of it. I know my man had a great following, definitely in New York and up there. I know he came down to like Athens, you know what I'm saying, and opened up his reservation or whatever you like to call it, his compound, and had his followers. And, the people of that city was hating on him and then went to shut that shit down. You feel what I'm saying? Then they start hitting homie with a bunch of stuff, you know what I'm saying, to try to take this man out. But obviously, this cat was brilliant. You feel what I'm saying? So And then that kind of information starts getting picked up, you know what I'm saying, in our communities, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, especially here in the Bible, but that's some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to rock with it. But a lot of people resonated with that kind of information, you know what I'm saying? And it will make it into our technology also known as hip hop. You know, we created all the music, but I'm just saying that because I think about like Outkast and how they started changing their music based on their studies and their interactions, and it gets you thinking of places like Sirius. It gets you thinking of different cosmic places, right? So that gets put into our psyche from a master teacher, you know, like a Dr. York. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm doing now, I'm just blending different things and kind of letting you guys see the information that was out there already, if you know what I'm saying? So, and then seeing how something that we do, if you love, you know, all the music that we make, hip hop, then it gets kind of put into your psyche and things like that. You know what I mean? And then we fast forward to 2021, 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? And we hear the "How to Die and Not Come Back" lecture. That opens up your mind, like, yo, not come back, then where I'm gonna be, where is home? And so we have some of this information that's dripping in from different areas, different disciplines and stuff like that. But now, when you hear "I'm gonna die and not come back," and then you know there's some people that say it's a whole cosmic thing, then in your mind you can start weaving that together. Well, shit, maybe I'm from X. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm from here. Maybe I'm from there. And a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, for a long time, people who really wasn't on the starseed shit and just hearing it, black folks, you know what I mean? They would just talk about Sirius, like, nigga, I'm from Sirius. You know, it was that was it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really get no deeper than that. You know what I mean? So, but with this new way of thinking, understanding that we are all here on a separate mission to do something, and then there's a way you can die and not come back, then shit. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, it starts to open up, where am I from? Then it sends you on your personal Google with your ancestors. Hey man, where are we from? Where am I from? What do I do? You know what I mean? Like, it all starts to track back. You start asking better questions. You start using your personal search engine better than you were using it before. Now you start connecting and really start to unravel the mystery of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Where you're from. What's your mission? You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, I think that's really powerful, man. When I hear a brother from the continent, by way of Austria, you feel what I'm saying? Talking about it took an African American, I don't like that term, but African American to connect the African back to his ancestors. That's powerful. That's powerful. That's real powerful, man. Because it's not really about if somebody's African American or African, or it's not about that. It's just about how, you know what I'm saying, Brother Panic was able to do his work, you know what I'm saying, and really put that information out there to start changing the psyche of the people who are really doing the work, with changing the psyche of the people in which the message resonates. You see what I'm saying? Because that's powerful for a cat to travel all the way from, you know, across the world to come to a thing, because something that this guy said, who's from Queens, New York, you know what I'm saying, can resonate with somebody that's all the way across the world. You know what I'm saying? And I know, you know, this happens all the time. That's like the power of social media and all that stuff. I understand, you know what I mean? But think about how many more people start connecting with their ancestors, their own personal Google. Because now they're like, hey, I can die and not come back. So then all that shit about reincarnation, all that shit about the heaven's gates and all that stuff, there's something beyond that. And it's like, yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? And instead of using reincarnation as something that's so beautiful, then you can kind of, when you start doing your work, you be like, hold on, that's kind of a fucking trap. You know what I'm saying? Or even some of the younger souls is like, yo, fuck it, I'm going to come back to this plane and keep changing it until I'm ready to be out. You know what I'm saying? And some of us older souls is like, yo, this is it, I'm out. You know what I mean? But when you have a guy like Brother Panic breaking it down and telling you, like, literally there's a pathway to get out, I mean, that's powerful, man. That's really powerful. That sparked a lot of these young master teachers out here that I see really talking about what's going on, really able to break the shit down. You know what I'm saying? And understand the light that you are and how you can make sure that you don't get trapped in this matrix. You know what I'm saying? So it's powerful, man, when somebody can connect you back with your own personal Google, with your ancestors. So if you really think about what if all of us, got connected back with who we are and really started to understand where we're from, really started to understand what mission that we're on, to come down here to change, to save, to do something, obviously to do something positive. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's really powerful, man. I think that's really powerful, and I wanted to just come on and really give props. To my man, Brother Panic, man. I love him. He was my teacher. I did a couple classes with him. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like, I was his right hand man or nothing, but I was in his classes, man. I spoke with him. I met him. You know what I mean? And I want to give the man props. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not ashamed of it. You see what I'm saying? Because not only did his teachings along with other, but we speaking on Panic, man, that shit changed my life, dog. You know what I'm saying? It really helped me open up my mind and understand things, and take my spirituality into my own hands. And hopefully that's what you're doing too. You know what I'm saying? There's no wrong way that you can go when you love and believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? And stop letting other people control you. Stop letting people tell you where you're from and what you do, and this is why you're here, and all this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We all come from different disciplines and understandings. You know what I mean? And instead of saying my way is the right way, your way is wrong, we can pick each other's brain, you know what I'm saying, all the way across the world, you know what I'm saying, and come together and understand like, oh, okay, and that's how you saw that, and that's how I saw this, so that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing my thoughts and mentality about some things that I've heard, and see how it came together. And in my mind, I'm like, holy shit, this nigga just saved the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Because it's a real deal exit strategy. You know what I'm saying? It's a real deal exit strategy. And you got to put in the work, and you'll be able to do it. You know what I mean? All of us can do it. Nobody's no better than the other. You know what I mean? Some niggas gonna work and some niggas not. You know what I mean? But you got to get connected back with your own personal Google. And then you start asking this Google the right questions, man. And on Google, when you search, it'll be like page 456 ... Like, now you back on 6, 7, 8. You got to keep clicking that arrow to get back in these pages of Google, to really understand who you are and where you're coming from and what you came here to do. You know what I'm saying? This is the time. This is the time. And if you know anything about what's going on right now, you already know that it's the time. So what better time than now? And I think if you tap into this information in a way that you can do it the best way that you do, because that's the best way it can be done, then you'll start to see. So I just wanted to come on, man, and kind of speak to that. If it resonate, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't, that's cool. You know what I mean? But watching this and seeing these people, many people, you know what I'm saying, from around the country, around the world, talking about how these messages connected, and then put them on a trajectory to really understand what's going on and get the fuck up out of here, man, and bring this shit down. You know what I mean? They need us for everything. So imagine we packed our shit and was like, nah, we straight. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I think that's all I got. Much love and respect to Brother Panic and his whole team, his family. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a student, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to come on and say that. Just let me know. You know what I mean? You could speak up in the comments if you like. If not, it's cool. You know what I mean? But we just here to spread positivity, man, and knowledge, man, and keep moving forward. So with that, I'm going to roll. Yeah, hopefully we can get some more videos. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, peace.